It's rather interesting. I mean, we've been, been here on the continent, specifically here in East Africa, pushing like 4 years. And I mean, not that we had any time limit on it. When we made the move, we said, okay, we're making the move. Uh, but it's just quite interesting that we've been here for this particular duration. And my wife and I, her beautiful self, we're enjoying it. We're really, really enjoying our experience, the ups and the downs, because there are downs. And us, we like to keep it very, very authentic, very real. But here's the thing, though. Between my wife and I, a lot of times we share our experience together. Things that we enjoy at the same moment, at the same time. But our journey is, it's kind of different. It's kind of different. Um, Here's a funny, I always say to her, she's the resident and I'm the tourist.
So one of my favorite places here in Nairobi, as everybody knows, is the hub. And not because of shopping or anything of that matter, but because of their approach to embracing the nature that's here. Um, and it kind of also helps with my moods.
I mean, she's locked in for sure. I'm locked in. However, for me, my experience anywhere, whether it's here in Africa, whether it's in America, or wherever else we may be blessed to go to, my take on it, living experience, it's a little different. It's a little different. So, we're here, we're loving it, we're enjoying it. Nairobi is a beautiful, wonderful place, man. The people are wonderful. We love the people. I think that has become a really, really great choice. When I look at the overall, for me, um, as it relates to me in my decision in coming to Africa, I think that's where the roads kind of diverge just a little bit. And people have their differences, they have their reasoning for coming.
This journey is not an easy journey. When you're coming from another country and you're leaving everything that you've known all your life, even if you're coming with a big family, it's an individual personalized journey. And a lot of times you feel alone, even how you feel on a daily basis being here in Africa. There's moments of feeling alone because for each person on that journey, it's a totally different experience.
Um, for me, although I know, you know, ancestrally I'm an African, and my forefathers, my foremothers, that really wasn't really the motivation for me. You know, reconnecting in that particular sense, um, it's good to know and it's good to have that particular foundation. But you know what? I'll be just be honest and straight up, man. I really, really, really love being a black man from America. I love it. I love it. And I've known this. This is not anything new. But as time goes on, I guess what I'm saying, as time goes on, I become, interestingly enough, I become more endeared to that fact of, what, it's so beautiful, man, being a black man or a black person from America. You know, in spite of all of the struggles and the challenges of what we've had and continue to endure living in America, right? For me, nothing beats really, truthfully, being a black man from America. And of course, this is not any slight on, being in Africa, my African family, my African brothers and my African sisters, but I understand. And I think I found a certain comfort with knowing that, you know, even though ancestrally, my roots would trace me back here, I understand I'm not African. I'm not African. And when I came and come to that realization, it made it even easier and better for me to embrace my African family. Now I can really appreciate the uniqueness, and I can really, look at it from a more objective perspective and really, really kind of fall in love, if you will, in a sense, fall in love with the beauties of the African culture, the beauties of the African people and how they do things. Some things are a little challenging, a lot of things, but again, that allows you to kind of hone in and get in touch with self.
So for me, being in nature, being somewhere where I can just, I feel normal, I feel at peace, is places that I can actually just be, with life. Just, you don't have to do much. You don't have to do anything to just exist in that moment.
I'll say this, what really, really brought this really full circle for me is like the other day, I was actually um, watching a television program, and this particular program is one that is focusing on Black Americans or expats, diasporas who have uprooted and come to Africa, right? And it's one particular brother, it's a brother in West Africa, and he mentioned something, and what he mentioned was how him being in Africa, he doesn't have to worry about being a black man.
One of the things that I love about being in Africa, or being in Kenya in general, is they didn't take away the nature to just build up society. Everything is one with each other. You know, the malls all have a component of nature or a component of wildlife, which I'm experiencing out here right now. Um, I've learned so much about different civilizations here. Um, Even as far as appreciation for animals that I've always had. I've always loved animals, but I wasn't too fond of birds. And so here they have these birds that I learned about in Rwanda. And I don't know if it's a myth or if it's true, but we were taught about birds that have a particular nest, and you'll see them all together. And maybe you guys could tell me what kind of bird it is. But all the nests are together in one particular tree, like a little society. And the men go out and build, or the male birds go out and build the nest for the females. But the cute part of it is when they say if the female don't like the nest that the male built, they will tear it down and make them start over. They have to earn their worth for in order to be with them. So out here they have this tree with the yellow birds, and all you see is these birds going from there to there, getting stuff from the leaves and so forth, and they're building the nest for the female birds is what I'm told. And it's like it's a natural order that you're coexisting with, and it's nothing sexist about it. They know their roles. The men are out building, the women.
It it is those things, right? Those things, those opposing, hurtful, painful things that we experience in America that really, 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 for me, make me to appreciate that I'm a black man. Because, and I don't want to go too deep into it because I'll have you here forever, but I knew for a fact that that's my identity, a black man. And when I heard this brother, when he said it, for me, I realized that what we've done and what we continue to do is we continue to allow for others to determine what it means to be a black. But when I think about, now that I'm here and I think about the beauty of us being black, living in America, I think about all of the great greats among us that have aspired and have reached great heights, whether it's in music, it's in art, whether it's in politics, whether it's in education, whatever it may have been. That is what I believe is to define who we are. And I love that. And I appreciate.
And according to the story that I learned in Rwanda is the female bird knows how many eggs it wants to hatch. So if the male bird builds a nest that's too small and she knows she's going to hatch like 4 or 5 eggs, she'll tear it down. And it's the the pureness of society, the pureness of living is what I'm in love with when we're talking about just being in Africa. Even if you're coming but you're planning to work, or if you're coming for school, or you're coming because you're retired, you can find your niche, and you find it according to what brings you peace if you're wise. We weren't wise the first time, but we're finding it to what brings us peace. And we're just walking and you're just looking and you're just appreciating life.
The greatness that we experience or we learn about through our people, black people in America, I've learned to appreciate it even greater, even more, being here on the continent. So, that's really, for me, my experience being here. I'm falling more and more, which is probably interesting. I'm falling more and more and more in love with my blackness from being specifically being from America by being here in Africa. So that's where I am right now, and this is what's helping me. Really, truthfully, it's helping me even love Africa even more. Because I can appreciate being a black man from America and not see a difference or a disconnect with my African family. I can learn from them, and hopefully they can learn from me, and then we can just live happily.
I'm experiencing life kind of solo now, you know. Many don't know that my granddaughter, she went back to the States to start high school. And then my mother, of course, has passed away last year. So for me, even though I have my husband and his family here, I feel solo. But I'm not alone. I'm just solo. And it's not bad. It's just a different journey for me. And I'm still very grateful, very appreciative. I'm excited about new chapters and new journeys. It's just different. And you have to be ready to embrace the loneliness that comes along with relocating. Regardless if you have the peoples with you, you got a big community of friends and family. When you're thinking quietly in your room, that journey is all yours. And it can be a lonely journey. So you gotta be ready for it, because it can be scary.